Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Benedict Construction. I have seen Benedict Construction build a big, beautiful TV set like this one. I've seen them do it on time and under budget. I've seen them remodel rooms and entire homes. I've seen them build decks, carports, patios. They can do it all. The remodel specialists in East Tennessee, Benedict Construction. All right, I want to welcome in the next member of our panel, Mark Pankratz, former Vol assistant coach, former D1 basketball player under Bruce Pearl at Milwaukee. I want to also apologize. I don't like setting up anticipation. Isaiah Victor was supposed to be with us. I've been teasing that for 2 days. He couldn't make it in. He drives in about 3 hours to be with us. He called me late last night. He apologized to me. I apologize to you that Isaiah isn't with us today. All right. Mark, you're doing double duty for us. Tennessee now 3-3 on the hoop season after an 81-58 whipping of a bad Georgia Tech team. Georgia Tech, bottom of the ACC, but Tennessee's supposed to be bottom of the SEC. Tennessee also went to Hawaii, played Oregon and Wisconsin, better than I expected. Has your opinion changed on this team at all? More positive, more negative? Where are you?
Well, I think it's more positive because of these young guys are better than I anticipated. Granted, in a basketball, it's such a long season. Football, we're a football community. We get caught up in it being one game, and all of a sudden we can start making drastic changes to mindset. But this team is going to be better. They're not going to finish 13th. They will finish in the bottom half because they have some gaps that we'll talk about here shortly. But they are improving, and they want to play. They are a team that is fun to get out and watch play the game of basketball.
Mike Strange, you've covered a lot of Tennessee basketball teams over the years. Has your opinion changed on this team, or are they about what you thought they would be?
No, it's come up a little bit. I pretty much on line with what Mark said. They played some people better than I thought. I don't think they'll finish 13th in the SEC. A couple of young guys are a little farther along, ready to help than I thought. So it's come up a little bit.
Guys, Mike and Jimmy, with the SEC looking like it's going to be down again, not great. Do you anticipate Tennessee finishing 13th as they were projected before the season, or do you think they'll finish above that?
I'm going to say above that, Jimmy, and the reason why, there may be a method to Rick Barnes' madness. Ask him about the rotation. He's not settling anything. He's going to keep this wide open, and these guys are going to have to earn their jobs from week to week. And so far, Jimmy, the players are responding to that.
Well, they are, and if those that don't respond, they get suspended, apparently. So, but I think that they're going to be better than I anticipated. My concern, though, with this team is when they have a close game late, who's going to step up? Who's the point guard that's going to lead the way? Who's the guy that's going to make the key shot or the key defensive play? When you have a really young team, sometimes that can foster itself in close games late. That would be my concern, but I really like what I saw against Georgia Tech.
And you do have point guard questions that are continuing until somebody steps forward with Bone out. You're going to have a lot of questions still out there until somebody steps forward and grabs that position. I want to take a look at the Benedict Construction big board, if we could. Right there, let's take the graphic out so we can read. There we go. 3 big issues for this team, Mark Pankratz. Rebounding. We knew they were undersized. They're actually +1 against their foes, and this doesn't count Chaminade. This is your D1 games. But they're right even in rebounding. Assists to turnovers, more turnovers than assists so far this year. And then three-point shooting, 31%, miserable. Of those 3 issues, and you need to fix all 3, what's the most glaring? If you're Rick Barnes today, which one are you most concerned about?
The bigger concern for me is rebounding, and the reason is I think you've actually got some guys that are going to grow into the point guard position, and they're going to be able to improve that throughout the year as they get acclimated to SEC basketball and playing at this level. But it's really hard to get stronger. It's almost impossible to get taller. So I don't think our interior is going to improve much, but I do anticipate us being able to handle the basketball better.
One thing Barnes talked about in the offseason was when you don't have the height, you got to crash the boards. And you always hear reboundings are about effort, not height. And Josh Pastner said that yesterday, that Tennessee really worked harder to crash on the board. So it is a massive issue, but it hasn't been as glaring as I expected coming in. With their height, I expected them to be in the negatives in rebounding at this point. After 6 games, at least they're kind of breaking even. Mm-hmm. All right, when we come back, we've seen this in this town before. So I think I know the answer, but I want to talk about it. Bad football season, people mad. Does that carry over to the mood for Rick Barnes and Holly Warlick and what they're going to be facing in terms of a fan base this year? We'll discuss. Come on back on the Sports Source.